Well, I tried to take a nap, but my baby won't sleep after like 2 solid hours of trying over 2 different times of nap attempts, and my husband's not here. So we gave up on that, and now we're just gonna make some bread. There are definitely some signs of summer in my house. Hiding these from the baby. This is a gift for my daughter that we haven't found a place for yet because we have a friend who collects rocks and she made her this. Plants I haven't bought soil for that need to be potted. Rocks from said friend. Crafts. And that's just one little windowsill. We also have this mess up here. Ripening peaches and nectarines. Some more fruit, birthday candy, soda for root beer floats, just stuff. But I will continue to ignore it to make some bread because I haven't made bread in a while. And I've got some rhubarb and I've got a fresh rhubarb bread recipe. It's from this guy. I'm excited to make some more. Come along. All right, we need a cup of soured milk. So I've got 1 cup of regular milk and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of lemon juice to it. Go ahead and get that added to it. Give it a little stir. It should be good in about 5 minutes. Into our mixing bowl, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of brown sugar and 2/3 a cup of vegetable oil. I was a little short on the oil, but I decided to try it and see how it worked out anyways. Then add 1 beaten egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I am using a tablespoon in this, so I just didn't fill it up all the way. Then I just mix that for a moment to let it all blend together. And there's just something about this like caramely color for bread batter that just makes me feel like it's gonna be really good. And now we can add in our cup of soured milk. It was a little chunky in there from the lemon juice. And then just let it blend together really well. Now in another bowl, you're going to add in 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then of course, give it a good stir. Then add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients and blend it very well. I've got 1 cute little helper right here. What are you doing, buddy? No, leave the paper towels alone. Ah! So the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of fresh rhubarb. Now my father-in-law gave me a ton of rhubarb recently, but it was like right before we went out of town. So I sliced it up pretty thinly and then flash froze it. So this is frozen rhubarb. I measured it out and it was just over 1.5 cups. And then I let it thaw on the counter and I kind of squished out some of the liquid. So like to put it in a thing right now, it's like probably 1 cup worth, but I'm assuming the flavor is still pretty potent. So we are gonna stick with this and hope that it works because I don't know. I'm not that good of a cook to know how things like this work, but I think it'll be okay. Should still taste. He also thinks it'll be okay. Does that look good, bud? At this point, you can also add in 1/2 cup of chopped nuts, but my family doesn't like nuts in their bread, so I just left it out. The recipe then says to drizzle a mixture of 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar on top of the loaves. It didn't really get very drizzly. It was very crumbly, but also not super crumbly like normal. It was like a wet crumble. So I did my best. Hopefully you have better luck. Then in the oven at 325 for 55 to 60 minutes. Mine was done pretty much right at 55 minutes. I didn't have to add any extra time. It cooked all the way through and it smelled really good and it looks beautiful. It looks really rustic to me. It definitely rose, but it's not like a super thick bread. I think it's just got like a really good color all the way around it. And even the topping looks nice, even though it's not like a drizzle like I imagined. It looks good. I don't think I'll ever not feel like a dork trying bread on camera, but it must be done. All right, it's kind of noisy in here because I'm also cooking dinner. That bread was amazing. Like, you should make it. You should go get some rhubarb if you don't have any already and go make this recipe because that's really good and I want to eat it. Even the baby liked it. My kids are picky and he loves it. You should make it. My 8-year-old is already begging me to make this again because it was so good. So make sure you give it a try, like this video and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.